Hey, it's me. So it's been a very long time since I've done a video, and the reason for it is I realized with this pregnancy thing going on, I kind of just said I just didn't know. And people have looked at me and seen me thus far and said, "How did you not know?" And it's complicated, but it's not complicated. So I haven't gone into it written, so I figured I'd tell you. So just a reminder, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, had it, whatever. Last year I did a video talking about it and the long journey I had to get a doctor to actually diagnose me and try to fix me. So one of the medicines I was taking is glucophage, and glucophage the generic for that is metformin. And so what that does is that helps balance you out. What that did was help me, I shed stuff, and I felt better, and I also had regular periods like a normal girl, like a real girl. Every 4 weeks, same time every month, and pretty light, same amount of days, 4 days, and it was glorious. I love how the other side lives. So I took this medicine, and then my husband and I were saying, let's try to have a baby. So the doctor prescribed us Clomid. We tried 3 times last spring, and big old goose eggs. Sorry, goose heads. That's weird. So we got really busy, and we were moving, and all sorts of stuff happened, and we it was really stressful on my body, and just I kept being like, man, this is, I know things are working. I know all this is working in here. I know I'm ovulating. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing it right. You have to, if you don't know about actually, purposely getting pregnant, there you have to keep a calendar. You have to, actually count days and do this and do that, have the right kind of sex, or the right amount of sex, and it's very calculated. It is stressful. My husband complained that it wasn't romantic. It was just kind of, let's get this done because we need to get it done now. My answer is the romantic stuff, the fun stuff wasn't getting us pregnant. If we want to get pregnant, we have to do the not fun stuff. And that's just real. And we had a conversation, and I was like, well, fine, let's table that. And we decided to, not try until, winter or until 2017, just because we needed to work on some things with ourselves, for real. Um, so we did. Uh, and of course, taking the metformin, like I said, I was having regular periods. My last period was the beginning of July, and um, early August came, and I didn't have a period, and I kind of expected it because I'd stopped taking the medicine in June. I stopped taking it just because I just stopped taking it. No real reason why. September, I didn't get a period. I felt weird early September. I felt like it was coming, and it was weird. I had a little bit of blood, but not really. It was a weird bodily function thing, and I was like, okay, well, here's how it's going to go, because my old periods were every 3 months, or it would be a 4 month break, and then I would have it for 2 weeks, and I would pay the price. So I'm like, after October passed, I was like, okay, November's coming, and it's going to be a doozy, but it's all my fault. So November comes and goes. Early November, late November into early December, I go into these weird feelings. I've started to have to go to the bathroom all the time. I'm the queen of holding it in, but I had to pee all the time. I started having crazy heartburn. I'd be right here. I felt like I could breathe fire. It was really, really strange. And I also, this is the weirdest thing that ever happened. I would come home at 6 or 7, and I would go to sleep immediately. But I would wake up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and just walk around. just for, and I can tell you, I started doing that when I was in a hotel room in early December, and I just literally was just like, why am I up? What am I doing? I'm wide awake. So Boone was very happy because I would just call him and say, what up? In the middle of December, so I have that, and I have these moments where like I would just go numb, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, I hope it's not diabetes. Like, it shouldn't be because nothing's really changed. Then I was like, well, it can't be a UTI. I know what a UTI is. I know what it needs to be. Like, I know my body. One of the weirdest things was I'd gotten used to walking up the 3 floors to our apartment, and all of a sudden I was like, and it was really, really strange. I know I had bronchitis in the middle of November, so I thought it was just remnants of that. So I was still using an inhaler, really good, but I was just losing it. Really, really strange. In January, like everything kind of increased. Like the whole bladder thing, I like was having a problem with bladder control. Like it was just a pain. And keep in mind, trying to think of all of these things that are going on and what it could be, what it couldn't be. And, I knew I had a gynecologist appointment in January. So I was like, well, I'm going to get back on my medicine because I really messed my body up this time. Boone did say in like December, oh, you should probably take a pregnancy test. I'm like, for what? It's just going to be negative anyway. So we let it go. In January, we go to the doctor on the 12th. He does a pap smear and it hurts. Like it's not hurt like that since my first time getting a pap smear. No tests whatsoever are done. Doctor says, are you having any lady problems? I was like, no, but my bladder hurts like crazy. And he's like, oh, well, I'm sorry. And then just kind of dismisses me. I can't be too mad at him because, he's adorable. Um, and I go back. Things are just like that way. And I feel like I've gained weight. I feel like, but it was unfair because I'd started like making fresh meals and eating even better than I was before. And like, I'm still doing these steps every day, multiple times a day, but I'm not getting better. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. Like, I'm getting out of breath worse. So I'm looking at the calendar, February like 10th or something, 8th, 9th, 10. I go to this trainer and I'm like, look, we need to shed this weight. I need high intensity training stat. We're going to start this on Monday. And he's like, cool, this is awesome. But then that Thursday, which was, I think, the 9th of February, I like was sitting up. And one of the also weird things that I'd never done before, like I would have like when I was still up at night, middle of the night, and eating like full blown meals. And I was like, I want some beefaroni. Like in the middle of the night, I would go to Kroger, 24-hour Kroger, and get like the little beefaroni and some like strawberry yogurt. I wouldn't mix it together, but I would eat it. Or like I'd eat tuna fish or like just whole meals in the middle of the night. And it's just something I never did. Well, this particular night, I go through and I'm like, in my stomach, I'm like, I feel this nudge. And I tell Boone the next day, I'm like, I had the weirdest gas last night. I was like, this gas bubble, like, felt like it was like nudging me. And he like starts laughing at me. So we fast forward over the weekend and we went out that weekend actually. And I had these new clothes and I just could not, like, it just, nothing worked for me. My makeup didn't work. My hair wasn't working. The outfit wasn't working. My body wasn't working. The boots I was putting on just weren't working. And I was just in a mood. Like, I just don't know what's going on. Like, this is ridiculous. And, he loved it, but like, it was just weird for me. On that Monday, we were out and we were actually at the Dollar Tree. And I was like, Boone, feel my stomach. And he pushed. It was hard, kind of. And he goes, that's your abs. I'm like, baby, that's not abs, that's fat. That's all fat. And at that moment, I was like, I had found that previous weekend, I had found, just one straggling like pregnancy test under the sink. So I was like, well, maybe I'll take it. I didn't tell Boone I was going to take it, but I did take it, right? And I was on the phone with my mom in the bathroom and just talking to her because, we all have that kind of relationship where we can talk on the phone while we're peeing. And it immediately turned blue, like the blue cross. And I'm like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. I was wondering, I was like, wait. So I put my mom on mute. I tell Ben, come here. And he'd already like gone to the bedroom he'd already gone to bed, essentially, is what I'm saying. And I just showed it to him, and he's like, what? We tell my mom. We go I call the doctor, and they're thinking, oh, you were just here 4 weeks ago, so congratulations. We'll do the doctor's appointment. We'll do a blood test, and we'll see if, you're good to go. If you're far enough along so that we can do an ultrasound. That's cool. Go to the doctor the next day, and the more I talk to the doctor first, the more he's like, you were pregnant when you came here. I was like, bingo, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think it happened in the 4 weeks because we weren't taking Clomid, we weren't taking medicine, and why am I pregnant? Like, this isn't supposed to happen, right? And he didn't have an answer for that. He's like, well, sometimes things just happen. And so we do the blood test. He rushes it. The next day, they confirm it, and apparently the numbers are pretty high. And they're like, well, we'll schedule the ultrasound. So on the 20th, which is the following Monday, I had to wait 5 whole days for this to find out how far along we are. We do the math, and we're thinking like probably November it happened. So we're thinking, a good 3 to 4 months pregnant, which is good because that would mean like we got maybe an August, July baby. This would be great. Like, good timing. We can come visit everybody. This is cool. Like, it's still an adjustment and shock because like weird, right? We're supposed to get pregnant. So we go to the doctor, and this is the same ultrasound place we went to last year to find out like what was wrong with my uterus, why I wasn't able to have babies. And I remember laying on that couch and seeing an empty uterus or on the chair. And this time, when she did the sonogram, there was a big old full baby there. Holy crap. I was like, wow, that looks like a baby I could hold. And she's like, yeah, so we're looking at 20 to 25 weeks. Okay, all right. So yeah, so that makes sense. That's like, oh shit, that's 5 to 6 months. All right, okay, that's cool. She does everything and like switches it to 4D. You can see his curly hair. You can see his like this is a real ass baby. I'm looking to my left at my husband, and he's like stoic. Like, he is in shock. He's like shaking. Like, everything is just going on with him, and I'm like losing my mind because this is awesome but weird at the same time. We finish up everything, and she goes, all right, so you are 32 weeks and 2 days. That sounds like it's 8 months pregnant. She said, so you got due date of April 15th, and this is something that we learned on February 20th. So we're freaking out. I have to drive to the doctor's office because Boone is shaking so bad. So I drive, and it's just a shock. I call my mom, have to pull over on the side of the road just so she can get it together. And then we officially tell everybody, and it's just, let me talk about shock. Shock like never sat in. Like, shock, or it did. It like lasted for a long time because the one thing we're like, what are we gonna do? This wasn't planned. This wasn't something that we like really expect. It wasn't something we expected at all, and it wasn't something that we wanted. It wasn't something that we planned for. Like, it just wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, these are the conversations. We were just like, oh, what? So then we did the conception date, and we found out we actually we had a little fun time after we'd completely given up trying at all, and that's when we conceived. It was it's really cool to see that it happened. So then it came to the point where we're like, oh crap, so how do we turn this into like where the baby's going to be? And luckily we have so many friends and family, and I'm gonna not cry, I'm gonna try not to do this, And people that love us so much and already love this baby, that have, like, within 4 weeks, literally by February 15th, we had everything we needed for Dempsey. And now we have more than what we need. But it's such a blessing. And we wanted to thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart. He's asleep, but Dempsey's here. So I'm gonna try to stand up so you can see how crazy we are here. So we went today to get an ultrasound. Right now he's at 7 pounds 2 ounces. He's approximating. We literally have a week and 5 days left, and um, he should be about 8 pounds 2 ounces at birth, give or take a pound or two. It's really, I get so emotional just thinking, like, even people I don't talk to, like, every day or at all. Like, you guys just gave and sent stuff to my house. Even a mystery person that I still don't even know. Like, it's I'm so grateful for all of you guys. I sent thank you cards out, and I just still don't think that's enough. Like, we wouldn't be able to have to feel at, like, we're literally just waiting on him to come. That's it. Like, we would have never been. I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna cry, and I don't want to cry. So I just wanted to thank you guys and give you the story, and have faith if you're having troubles like conceiving and stuff. Like, I know now that it can happen, and there aren't any particular answers as to why it happened. There's nothing scientific that went on, even though that's all I depended on. Um, there isn't anything scientific. It happened. It was God's will, and it was when we least expected it, and it's all these things. And I'm grateful. I'm super grateful, and all I can think of is holding him and being the best mama I can try to be for him. And this morning at the ultrasound, we saw him, like, breathing in and playing with his feet and stuff. And I I'm so excited, and I want to thank you all. And um, I don't know what this means for PCOS after birth or what it means later, except my doctor says you're probably going to have a super easy time doing this next time, so be careful. So, um, but I feel good. I feel better. Like, and there has been no problems whatsoever. He's super healthy. Like, even though for 7 months I didn't know he was there, he's super healthy. I'm super healthy. Like, no diabetes, no preeclampsia, nothing to worry about. And it's a beautiful thing. That's all I can say. So I'm gonna cut it off. This is about 8 minutes too long, and I am so thankful again to everybody. I love you. And of course, I'm going to share pictures and I'm going to share videos. You're not going to see my badge, though, because that's a little personal. But you will see things. So thank you so much. Love and peace and, jelly beans and stuff. I don't know.